You know that the diversion
Where they
between
split, right.
where
So you
that's
want to
go
go in the back road.
right. That one immediately in front of the back road. So when
Yeah.
they're coming up the back road, they wouldn't fall in it per se because it's directly in the middle.
Yeah.
But if a car fall in that hole, buddy,
Yes,
that damaging
breaking
rim,
everything.
tire, everything.
Everything
Everything
gone.
breaking surety. So I want to thank her. We called her last week. And true to form, she has gotten a relief to drive us outside there.
Yeah.
And that is good. That is good stuff, you know. And give she a little applause.
Yeah, she could
Applause
get a
it.
little forward for that.
A little applause it.
She could
Yeah,
get
give she a forward for that. The next place I would like, I don't know if she will be listening or have anybody listening, but so long they're listening, outside Market School in Mova, as you come down the hill from Paradise Heights, it have about 8 holes there, right?
Hold on.
But it's the most strategic holes ever in the whole of Trinidad and Tobago.
The place for you to go
Eh,
into.
You have to choose which hole
You have to pick a struggle for
to
which
go
one you
into.
want.
If that's how strategic the holes in them. It have about 8, right? And it is. You have to choose which one you want to go into. You have to, and based on the traffic pattern, you have to kind of negotiate based on the holes that you're going into. So if you know you're going to the first one, the driver on the next side are going to the third one, and so on and so on. It's a real battle on that area.
Before you do that, let me give this to
Yeah. So Julian John, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your service and your speedy response to that hole there on the opposite Success Village Lavantil School. Thanks a lot for your service.
Well, here we're going on. You can take all for yourself. So here we're going on, right? Miss John, when you get a chance, oh God, Sarah Regional Corporation, boy, they do business about we in Aranguez.
No, well, they don't do business with that too much.
Oh God.
They ain't dealing with that. But I want anybody that's listening that those holes in front, Market School, where they were, you see, the reason why I got holes was because of the heavy trucks that was passing there to service the school. The school is now being built, and they know they had the trucks with the cement and the big iron and wherever. So they passed there and they finished the road properly. Finished the road in terms of holes. So the other day, some youths came down and they did some cement work, and they kind of patch up, 1 or 2 of the holes. But that wouldn't last long because that water flowing there from higher up. For some reason, I don't know if I'm main burst or whatever it is, and that flows down into the area, and then when cars pass over it, it's making it worse.
Yeah, it will chip away.
Yeah, so in no time, it's back to where it was before. So anybody listening in Ministry of Works, that is something they really need to go and pave there. Please, I'm begging on you.
Yeah, but so
Because that's the main thoroughfare for move.
So why they didn't touch my area now?
They ain't gonna touch your area. I don't know. They come in.
They come in because watch now from the old road.
That's some roads, some areas in Aranguez is real
old
bad.
road and Saddle Road. Come straight on through Ryan Street into Aranguez. I don't know what's going on in Aranguez right now. Aranguez getting real licks.
Yeah, things real bad. Right? But generally
I thought that Miss John was really deserving of the applause because
No, she can't get she forward.
With all the issues we have to purchase the materials to
Yeah.
do full sheeting.
Yeah.
We really can't. The
we can't.
country
right.
can't do it right now. Let me just say the country can't do it right now, but
Right.
but they're making an attempt to at least patch them.
Yeah. Well, I saw Wassa doing some remedial work the other day.
Yeah.
After all the holes that they did on the main road, they were coming down the road
And throwing dirt in it and stuff.
throwing dirt in it and well, not dirt, but hot mix. I think it's hot mix, and they were fixing the roads back to where they were before. So I want to give Wassa a little time in there, Although really fix nothing really. Wassa against workers against smooth asphalt, as it's called them. Workers against smooth asphalt. But generally, I want to give all some props to that. So where that is concerned, right? But generally, I don't like the front page article. Basically, right? I don't really pick the front page article most times because everybody be talking about that. So we get to that in the 11 o'clock hour most times. But in the interim, up front, we are talking about all the different, the front page article is about clearing the air and the audio tape and how the audio tape get outside there and all kind of mad thing. Well, I don't know what is the
weekend, that was one of the hot takes.
The hot topics going on with the audio tape and whatever, but I wouldn't take it from that angle this morning. I want to say that the Golden Carrier, I want to give them a round of applause too for switching out the boats in a good project timing. Good project timing in that they realized that the Cabo Star and the what's the next one? The next cargo boat that gone in. But nevertheless, the Golden Carrier is now timely. It came into service at a good time, and the in terms of the how to put it, the logistics, in terms of understanding when the boat going out of service and when a boat coming into service, because a boat has to go through sea trials when it now come in, right? And that takes a while. That normally it would take 2-3 days, to be seaworthy. Night trials and day trials, and I think the boat has passed, so it is now ready for putting on your trucks and your whatever on the island and so on.
Because of how we got that boat, I see Guyana president getting and prime minister getting some licks, because they're comparing all the vessels that the different islands have, and they brought up the fact that we got this new one. So they showed the two original ones we have. They showed Jamaica own, and then they showed the one that Guyana had that sunk, basically saying that, everybody had good infrastructure, and this is what Guyana was using. But
Guyana will get it right, I guess, as they go along, because they were behind us recently.
Yeah,
they were behind us recently. When we were in Manin days and having a good time.
Have you been to Guyana recently?
No, not recently.
Well, let me have Trinidad and Tobago know that presently they're on our heels.
Right. Okay.
Construction is booming.
Right.
The highways, the majority of them they've been rebuilt. Their street lighting system is going in place. It's a total. It's a country going through a fast change.
Right. Okay. It's a country is it when I was there last, there was problem for digital internet at the time in certain areas, certain rural parts, because Ghana is a very big country. It looks smaller, but it's a huge nation, and most of it, the population is centralized, and the rest is just land kind of thing. And then on top of that, the Essequibo region has not been upgraded because of that bacchanal with Venezuela and the international court and whatever, right? But so it has not been, and as a matter of fact,
we have a lot of tribes too. You can't touch certain.
You have certain protected areas and so on. But there's also in terms of how they operate, they have. It is rumored that the Essequibo region has the most amount of deposits of oil and gas. Well, gas actually. Most amount of pockets of gas, but they ain't get a chance to drop the bit yet because of obvious reasons. They ain't going into that area just yet. But when it stabilizes, when the conversation stabilizes, they're going to get into some level of, talks to get in there and drill. And that's where we're going to see some prosperity and so on. And that takes me into my topic today. We had to understand our oil and gas sector, right? And I want to have a frank discussion with the people outside there. I don't know if they'll be able to call. I don't know if they'll be watching or what, but I want to...
They'll be able to call.
Right. Yeah. Right. So, I want our interactive session, right? We have been through oil and gas in Trinidad and Tobago for a number of years, right? We had as much as 245,000 barrels of oil in the early 70s coming down there, into the monetization of oil and whatever, right? We were oil-based economy then, right? So we had about 245,000 barrels of oil, and now we are about 45,000 or just less than that now in 2026, basically, right? So our oil has been depleting for a number of years. Also, too, we had several I remember the year when
and this we know, this we
yeah,
can
this
calculate.
we can calculate there, right? So Trinidad based its economy on a gas setting in late 2000s, so coming down there. So they were more focused on gas. That's why they ring fenced BP, for instance, all the oil assets and all the gas assets. So I was in the oil asset back then, and then they moved me to the gas asset before they closed down the oil asset because they were going to sell it, and Perenco and buying it and wherever. And, not Perenco, Repsol ended up buying it, the oil fields. Well, I wonder what go come at them in truth.
Yeah.
But anyhow,
This sponsor in Formula 1 on motorbike.
Open back a Pandora box there.
yes. And they bought the oil assets, right? So the oil assets was Saman Tik Pui, right? So it was Saman A, Saman B, Saman C, Tik A, Tik B, Tik C, Tik D kind of thing. So it was all the 45,000 barrels of oil were coming from those three areas, right? But we went to a gas-based economy then, right? So Trinidad was more focused on gas. And I was fortunate to be on a platform called K-pop. I remember the days, I think in 2002 or 3 or somewhere around there, they were talking about monetizing K-pop, right? Because they were in the Iron Horse field, right, which was just about 7 miles away. Venezuela right there, and we right here. So if you're on the platform, if you're on K-Pop's platform, so long the tide is low, you're seeing Venezuela clear. You don't like you can run across the water and reach in Venezuela land. Yeah, it was like that when the tide is low. But when the tide high, you just kind of see the top of it kind of thing, and that's what make me know that the flat earthers or little Selvino dreams, right? That's how I know. That's how I know the earth not flat.
Yeah.
Because you know, see, during the high tide, you wouldn't be able to see Venezuela coastline like that. So you have all this land right across the road there, and that's when the time when Trinidad also went into what is called directional drilling, right? We used to drill before, but we used to drill straight down, right? You put on the diamond bit and you go down, straight down, and you get deposits and you get your gas and your whatever the case will be. And at that time, they got into the technology of what is called directional drilling, which is they sort of going down, but they're going into, like, if there's a cross border, there's always an imaginary line in the sand with where the borders are, in terms of just like how this dragon gas talking about and manatee and whatever, right? They have this thing called directional drilling now that drills from Trinidad into the shelf of Venezuela, right? So that was a very new thing back then, right? So they were always looking for directional drillers all over the world. And they had very few. I remember back then they only had about 4 or 5 all over the world. So they would go on different platforms for the period to drill into the shelf of, let's say, Venezuela, which would be half Trinidad, half Venezuela, right? So the pipe would go down and it would sort of bend till it reached into the shelf of Venezuela, basically, and start to draw gas and whatever. And I remember the days of 2 trillion cubic feet. That was the talk back then in 2003, about 2 trillion cubic feet of gas. And that was like gold, because you wouldn't hear that anywhere. To drill into a shelf like that was like a real phenomenon, because nobody doesn't know about directional drilling like that. They know about it, but they don't know about it, if you understand what I'm saying. So they didn't know about directional drilling. So the pipe would come down, bend, and go into the shelf, right? So when that happened, that was a new technology then. That was something fresh. That was something new, and was just phenomenal. To get 2 trillion cubic feet of gas was like the bomb. It was like the real thing. So those people and them, you know, they were talking about that, talking about how they getting 2 trillion cubic feet of gas, and we going and drill for that and wherever. And we drilled for that gas, and there were 4 wells on Cape that were in that were in Venezuelan waters. And I've given all this history for you all to understand where we at and where we need to be, right? So in 2026, right? But we in 2003, 2004, somewhere around there, right? We going into the shelf to drill. So we hire a driller, we hire Ensco 76 was the name of the platform, what's the name of the drilling platform that would come over the production platform and drill into the shelf. So we did so, and there were 4 wells that was into Venezuelan waters. So while we drilling, is 11 wells that come to drill, but 4 wells were inside of Venezuela. So while we drilling now, the drilling stop, you get the nice clear condensate coming up from the ground, wherever. They take a test tube, they send it to land, they check it, they say what's the best condensate ever and wherever. And we ended up with, how to put it, with the other wells giving gas, whatever the case would be. But 4 wells with the biggest pockets were locked. Right? And they were locked because we had to... Yeah, we capped the wells so that we could go into negotiation with Venezuela now to find out, well, how we sharing this gas, because it would go through a pipeline and it would the meter would come up with a certain amount of gas, whatever the case may be, and we had to know how the royalties going and who paying who and when we gain gas and whatever.
Because part of the shelf was over by them.
Was over by them, right? So this is nothing new. We hearing the manatee and we hearing the dragon gas and we hearing the whatever, but people wouldn't understand what that means because it was never told to them basically how it really works, right?
This is the first time I have a picture of it in my mind.
Right. Right. So generally the 4 wells remain locked, and it took about a year and something before they came out an agreement as to how this gas, when it comes up from the ground, how it would affect Trinidad and Tobago, right? And we were checking to see how, you know, and them days I was across there, so we would be across on that side. So I every time I go to work, I would see this amount of excitement on people's face. 2 trillion cubic feet of gas. Now we talking about 7 million cubic feet, trillion cubic feet of gas now with the Dragon gas field.
Yeah.
But back then was 2 trillion cubic feet, and that was like a wow factor for the whole of Trinidad and Tobago because we getting money. You know, that's how others look at it.
Boom.
Yeah, boom time. So when we rode gas, so we have been an oil and gas economy for a number of years. Now I want to take you all back to Manning's days. That is in we days when we was over on that side, right? When Manning was running the show.
Yeah.
Right. And when we had money, we had real money, right? Because he took $2 billion and built the waterfront. Right? He built up the waterfront, built up this big
Vision 2020.
yes, at least he had a vision as to where he wanted to go with Trinidad and Tobago, right? Well, he started to go mad with power, as always say that, right? He started to go mad with power. Because he take off the
call elections like a
he take off the coat of arms on the president vehicle and put it on his vehicle. That's when I know he was going mad. That is when I know he was going mad. He's going mad with power, you know, and remember the incident with Colonel, right?
Yes.
Right. Remember Colonel summoned me to the office after the Bacchanal Lacrosse Day, wherever the case may be. And, you know, he permitted us sit down, and he and Manning permitted us sit down in a big, if you see this big table, this big long table, and I on one end, and he and Manning on the next end.
I can tell you about the table.
Yeah.
Tell you pick a struggle.
I can also tell you about the way they enter.
Yeah. So they enter and they come with a Sharpie and a whiteboard. and they start to explain to me why they're going in the direction they're going. So my first question was, so why are you not communicating this with Trinidad and Tobago? Because when they were finished, I got a greater appreciation for what Man in Vision was. And I think it was a fairly fair vision for what Trinidad is supposed to look like. And we had the opportunity to how to put it, to diversify the economy. Because them days we talking about the farm down, you remember the farm down in the mega farm that I was talking about? Down in Chagaramas.
Yeah, that got some pushback.
Trying to get the exact location for you.
Yeah.
But
you was? And I'm going back to all these things because these things shape how we are where we are today.
Yeah.
Right? And we going along and we doing our thing. And somehow we got caught up in that mix in doing, trying to diversify Trinidad and Tobago. That was the time to try to diversify anything in Trinidad and Tobago. That was the time.
New direction.
Yeah, that was the time to really, because we had money like Gobar.
Yeah.
We had real money. Real money. And I just go tell you about that.
Yeah.
Hassan, we had real money in the country at that and those years. Till you could be talking about putting a big TV down on the
On Independence Square?
no
Which one?
on the side of the building for the new complex in town, the waterfront building. You remember there was some buildings built in the inside with a big courtyard where people could go and sit down and watch, and just chill and thing, right? He wanted to put a big TV there. Massive TV and all kind of that kind of money we're talking about.
Complex itself?
Yes.
They have like all the government buildings and stuff?
Right.
Okay.
Right. By way income tax and thing is now?
Yeah.
Right. All around there.
Government campus.
Government campus. Right.
Okay.
Where we throw feds there.
Yeah, right.
Right. So you was talking about putting a big TV there, and we had IFC where the people and them would come from all over and occupy a floor. So he wanted it to be the financial center or the financial hub of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
So all those businesses out foreign and up the Caribbean and thing would have come and occupied a floor. Right? So that financial hub, like we Wall Street then, we Wall Street of the Caribbean.
If you remember very well, what came out of that was the issue with then called the hat.
That's
Yes,
what I was
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Email gate
And
throw off that.
directing the government funding
Yes,
in a particular direction.
Yeah.
Then opposition would have used that issue. Around that time, this Gladiator was around, and he would have been one of the person instrumental in getting involved in that. battle
definitely.
When it comes to media, it was a really nasty fight around that time when it got hot. When it started to get sick.
I wonder if you remember these things, boy.
Not
If he's
everybody,
alive-
not everybody is remember.
Well, we are wrong, and we
but
tongue long,
Well, yeah,
I
but
was a lot younger when Gladiator was
it's only
around.
we that remember. That's why China bring
I
back
remember,
a lot of people's memories.
One of the persons who would be able to share some of the stories would be Barrington Thomas.
Yes, Barry Barrington would have understood.
And
he
he
was
would be
supposed
able
to
to
know.
share some of the stories with you as well.
I know a little bit about it because of how I because of the niche, but I would have known of Email Gate, the Color Heart stuff, and so I will know like all of it, but I know I learned a good portion of it from Gladiator too. Because I know around that time they would.
Gladiator was
in it.
different, though.
He-
Different kind of guy.
He was a different kind of guy.
Different
So,
kind of guy.
Something we can't
He and yeah.
I'd say thank you to him wherever he is in whatever plane he's on. I have to say thank you to him for his little inspiration also.
Well, I must give the chairman of this organization also to
he
Yeah.
would
a player.
he would be
because
able
he
to
would-
give you
yeah.
some of the
Because he was
Facts.
definitely around
He
that time
and
too.
Gladiator used to work together.
Yeah.
Every day. You know what I mean? And the kind of things they used to talk, I learned a lot from them in those days.
Well,
you
the
know?
chairman would have been the only person to challenge Gladiator verbally
Yeah,
on
yeah,
air
yeah.
and have Gladiator backpedaling
Yeah. In a lot of instances.
in a lot of instances.
Yeah.
In a lot of instances, the show wouldn't end happy. We wouldn't have a happy ending to the show.
No, but I think that is what makes the show interesting, when you have differ in opinions sometimes.
Well,
And I don't want us to get sidetracked as to why X started the conversation about where the oil come from and where we're heading. So I want you to stick up in there because we have to take a break. And I want to remind the listeners that we would be broadcasting the cricket live right here on Talk City. So all you got to do is keep it locked. The show continues online.
Yeah, if they want to see the show, watch it on the socials.
Story. Every tradition has a voice. This is Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story. The story concludes with a celebration of freedom, resilience, and cultural pride. Join hundreds of
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stephan and Mr X, Fearless Talk, and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Take it front with Officer Shabadi. Go beyond limits with Roland Stewart. Drive home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition, the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
The Tobago Heritage Festival is much more than a series of cultural shows. It is Tobago's largest annual celebration of history, traditions, and community spirit. Created in the mid-1980s to preserve the island's unique customs, the festival brings Tobago's past to life through music, dance, storytelling, food, and folklore. Unlike many festivals that take place in one location, the Tobago Heritage Festival spreads across villages throughout the island. Each community proudly presents its own traditions, giving visitors an authentic look at Tobagonian life and culture. This year's festival runs from July 16th to August 1st, 2026, celebrating the importance of community, togetherness, and cultural identity. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026, keeping Tobago's rich heritage alive for future generations.
Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story. From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition, the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
Some stories are written in books. Others live in the hearts and memories of a people. One of Tobago's most famous folk legends is that of Gangang Sara, a mysterious African woman said to have flown across the Atlantic and settled in the village of Golden Lane. According to the legend, she possessed the power of flight, but after living in Tobago and eating salt, she lost her ability to return home. Her story has been passed down through generations and remains one of the island's most treasured pieces of folklore. During the Tobago Heritage Festival, visitors gather in Golden Lane to hear the tale brought to life through storytelling and cultural presentations. It is a reminder that heritage is not only found in historical records, but also in the stories people share from one generation to the next. This is Tobago's oral tradition at its finest, and in 2026, Tobago invites you to hear it for yourself.
Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Bramala Balkaran. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago today. Let's take a look at what's trending this morning.
Every morning in Trinidad and Tobago, a new conversation begins. And right here, we take that conversation further, speaking with the stakeholders and voices behind the stories. from News and Life.
All right, nice. So we're back
folks.
inside, people, and yeah, it's about what time it is, right? It's about 9:42. So we have a couple minutes again. So let me just wrap up my dissertation, basically, right? Yeah. So I was talking about the gas and how we end up with the 4 wells and whatever, right? So this phenomenon that we're going through now is nothing new. Right? I want to get that through all your head permanently. It is nothing new. Since 2003, we're talking about getting to another place. So you're understanding about how we do directional drilling, which is what causing our problems now. Drilling into Venezuelan shelf. So we have Manatee and we have Dragon gas. And if you know how the cluster is made up, if you understand how the cluster is made up, you would know where, or at least what we're talking about when we talk about going into Dragon and going into to Manatee and so on, right? So I was down Mayaro the other day and I saw it on TV where they were sending down separators and different piping and things and all this and equipment, brand new equipment, So I like, what is going on here, boy? Is preparation they're making for Manatee to be able to receive the gas and so on, right?
Right.
So I found that strange. I'm watching how it going, whatever the case may be. Then I hear increased production. We get a little money off of that kind of thing, and we start coming up the road, right? We have reached 2026.
Right.
And a lot has changed then. I remember about since 2015 or 20, even before the UNC got in the first time, where we were with elections. Every 5 years, we are leaping so much in technology that we don't even realize. It just coming and passing us and going.
Yeah,
and
we're
we
not
like,
pivoting at all.
and we going about the business normal now. But the politicians understand.
Yes.
The politicians understand
Very
where it was going.
Very much.
And they're watching it now and watching to see what the hell going on. And coming on every 5 years is an improvement of some kind.
You know, it's important that you said that because you explained earlier what happened when we discovered sideways drilling.
Right.
You have a
Directional drilling.
Directional drilling.
Yeah.
They knew that.
Already.
They understood what we tapped into. They understood what would happen when Venezuela realized where some of the gas was coming from.
Right.
They had all this information. Thus, they started to make arrangements to have negotiations.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? So, they knew about the technology before the layman.
Lovely.
Right.
So they understood where we were going.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the technology has been increasing exponentially, right? And we were like going about our business all normal,
Yeah.
trying to put our ordinary lunchbox to send the child to school, wherever. We're oblivious to what the hell going on.
The typical third world mentality.
And generally, when we come down to the brass tacks of it now, we going into we were talking AI. 5 years ago, we weren't talking AI. We weren't talking about AI at all. But AI was here.
Yeah, it was.
Because for Cambridge Analytica,
Was AI.
that is part of AI.
Right.
That is part of the fundamentals of AI.
The population that didn't know wasn't talking AI. The ones who were in tech was already talking AI.
right?
And so let me show you how the population was in the dark. In 2015, when the Prime Minister started to give laptops to students, it's because that administration already knew
Right.
The direction that technology was going in.
Lovely. You understand it?
Yeah.
Right? And we were going along the lines.
No, you just opened that light bulb over my
Well,
head.
I know it's a serious
And
thing.
not only that,
Thought about that.
the reason why the government also did that is because they saw that the rest of the world's style of teaching was also changing.
Yeah, we're
Everywhere
also
else in
changing
the
a lot
world
here.
We're focusing on online learning,
Right.
and we were behind. So the government pivot to push us to online learning and online technology.
Because everything now in 2026, you doing courses now, university courses online.
Online.
It has some classes you're doing, somebody go to class.
But not only that too, the government also noticed.
At least they don't want to go to
that-
class physically, that is.
Yes, not only that.
60% of my sound engineering,
Right.
was online.
Right.
Right.
And my podcasting course and broadcasting course was online. But not only that, let me tell you how visionary the government was at that time too. The government also started looking at the angle of remote jobs. That is how serious they were
Obi, are you
pivoting.
saying that someone knew that COVID was coming?
I'm not gonna go as far as to say
Taking it on the rabbit hole.
Well,
Let's get
well,
back to
yeah,
X.
but-
what could be, yeah? But
Yeah,
we'll get to that
yeah.
just now.
yeah.
But generally, we were focusing on oil and gas and whatever. And then AI steps in the play. Right? And it's not if you're AI compliant. You have to be AI compliant within the next couple of years coming.
Yep.
Because my AI people who, or like Tim, who I just work with and so on, them fellas and them on a different plane.
Yeah.
'Cause last night he sent me a Tobago concierge that if you on a plane, right, and you just type in what you want to know about Trinidad and Tobago, the bot chatting with you,
Yeah, I'm telling you everything.
telling you where are the hotels, where are the places not to frequent, where are the places too frequent, what is going on the island in terms of what is the heritage festival and all these things. You could do that on a plane going to Tobago,
Yeah.
Are you aware that the way the technology works is that a data center has to have all that data stored?
Yeah,
This is
yes.
what I was not gonna say
To pull the
because
Well, I get into that just now. I get into that just now. So that is where we are within the last 5 years. Within the last 5 years, we weren't talking AI,
you're right.
right? So we started to talk about basic AI late down in the plane. When after AI done gone on the ban already, we started to talk about AI. Then we started to talk about generative AI.
Right.
Right, which is like in China where you're on a chair, you're in a wheelchair, and you could strap a computer to your body, basically on your legs, on your hands, on your whatever, and it makes you get up out of that chair and walk and learn how you walk in
Yeah.
and adapt to how you walk in from a crippled person walking in a chair. So just now, if we're doing that in 2020, 2025, 2024, picture what 2027 and 2028 would look like.
Yeah, but not only that, there's something I tell everybody because the AI discussion has been around way longer than even what we are thinking
You
here.
have a number of callers
Right.
waiting as well.
Oh, yeah, call it.
Because here, what I can tell you for sure is this. Are you convinced that everything that is coming, they introduce us first to it with a movie or a TV show?
Well, yeah.
So
That's
if
been going on for years.
If that is the case, the first show that introduced us to AI was Minority Report.
Yes, they're going back at the
We touching the screen, moving the AI talking. From there, we had I-Man with Will Smith. Then we had iRobot. Then we had Matrix, and everything that we see in movie from spinner's rims.
What I
screens.
frightened about is when
then-
Elon Musk was talking. It was like a iRobot movie.
Yes.
The way he talking is like We will have robots doing everything for us.
Yes. Well, you remember surrogates introduced us to
Yeah,
that.
I
where
don't,
we
I
were so
don't want
man,
you
we
to.
had
I don't want
those
you to
things doing that.
lose. I don't want you to lose track of the course that X
Yeah.
coming up the road in relation to Trinidad and Tobago,
Yeah.
moving from
Well, right.
oil to gas to where?
To
So
technology now.
right? So we
I
in the
think
technology
we need to pivot
age.
to that.
We in the technology age, right? And we are in 2026.
Yeah.
We go into what's our election in 2025, 2030, sorry,
2030.
right? So what is that going to bring to us in terms of
Diversifying the economy.
What is that?
Where we
Yeah.
pivot to.
where do you want to see Trinidad and Tobago by 2029? 2030, 2029. What you expect to see from Trinidad and Tobago? Because I was watching a video with Adonai, what you name, Adonai or something, so? Or Daniel Loveless, that what you name,
what you know.
right?
Yeah.
All right, but gentlemen, we are getting ready to head across live to
The cricket.
Brian Lamb.
So for
Cricket
all our
Academy.
listeners,
Yeah.
please go to the socials if you want to continue
This discussion with
this
us.
discussion
Right,
with us
right.
and listening
Right?
to the
We're
show.
also going to be taking your phone calls and like normal, open air, we're going to be broadcasting the cricket. That's our commitment. We are the official station, Talk City.
Lovely.
91.1 FM.
But I
Stay
think we
with
should
us.
take calls one time, because when we pivot, not everybody on radio might pivot to socials one time.
What
So
time-
give
what
them
time
a
we going
chance
across?
again before they stop hear us.
We're heading across in just about 1.5 minutes.
All right, okay.
Right, so we should let them gain because not everybody on radio land will pivot.
before, initially, before the game started, we were talking about how close these encounters have been between these both countries. And you look at the scorecard, and the first day, West Indies was 193 for 3. And then you look at Pakistan yesterday, 199 for 3. Yeah. So it is panning out to be a close encounter.
Well, here is Roach into Shan, and he's one that kept a little bit low. Now that we were talking about it yesterday, Tony. The longer this game goes on, by day 5, the team batting on day 5, and especially if West Indies can dismiss Pakistan this morning, let's say for around 300, 311, that kind of total, and then go on between today and tomorrow and build up maybe a 250, 275. That could be difficult to get here on the last day, couldn't it be? As Roach, think about it, as Roach round the wicket to the left-hander, and this one is driving, but let me rephrase that, an attempted drive from Shan, but that ball left him, beat him outside the line of the off stump, beat the outside edge as well, and beat the intended drive, and went through to be taken by Hope.
Yeah, most batsmen are susceptible in the early parts of the innings of getting out, and that's good bowling by Roach. He didn't bowl so well yesterday. Initially with the new ball, we know that he can be much more frugal than he was, but he got that 1 wicket. But he wants to perhaps go back to what he's accustomed doing, which is to be a lot more consistent with the semi-new ball.
Well, here's a delivery. This time he drives, and this time he makes connection, but that's a good bit of fielding at the cover position by Chandapol, because he was diving to his left. It was a nice
people, we're back
drive,
inside and
trying to find the gap between mid-off and extra cover. And there was Chandapol, who is at a cover position, had to take a few steps to his left and then put the dive in, stopped it from going beyond him, and limited the score to a single. So 1 to Shan, he is off. Well, he goes from 88 to 89, and the most important thing for Pakistan, the 200 has been brought up. It's now 200 for 3 at the end of Kimaru, which is over.
Well, it's a combination of things to subdue Pakistan this morning. The West Indies players would have to be focused out there, would have to not just play for half an hour and then their focus go. The intensity level has to be high, but the bowlers have to be on spot, much more disciplined than they were yesterday. In addition to that, the fielders have to back up the bowlers, as we saw just now with Chandapol. So excellent bit of fielding, and that's an example of what the West Indies team would require today.
Well, it's going to be Jaden Seals. He had a really good spell coming to the end yesterday, didn't he?
Yep.
Well, he's on his way to bowl to the left-handed Shan, and he's with him, and this time he's pushing it out towards cover. And Chandapol just runs to his left, doesn't do the fielding, allows the ball to run out towards Roach at mid-off. So there's the similar type field. Tony, this is a very interesting field, because there's the first slip, then there's almost like a fourth slip, and then a gully. Is it something in this, looking at Shan, that maybe he cuts the ball a little uppishly, because there's also a man at deep point, and maybe he cuts the ball a little uppishly? You know, think about it as Seals into Shan, and this time he drives. He's going to get a quick single. He'll have to hurry. Roach has a shy at the striker's end, the end in which Salman was running to, and he got home, but it was a sharp single, a good run in the end. But you're wondering why would Shan look to take that risk? But from the time he played the shot, give him credit, he called immediately for the single, and he got home. So he is into the 90s now. He is on 90, and the total 201 for 3.
Yeah, that has been a feature of his batting yesterday. Batsmanship is not only about shot making, it's about running between the wickets, and that has been excellently done again today. That
right,
single
so look at
was
the
a
gist
fast
of
single.
what I'm talking about,
Hit it
right?
with some degree of power towards the man at mid-off, but he was able to get past his batting partner in between the wickets to get to the other end.
Here is Seals into the right-handed Salman, and he's pushing this out to just to the left of Chandapol at cover. And no, that's not Chandapol. Let's see. That
Warwick
Warwick at
for the length of time that they did it. There's a
cover
reason why
position
voting is
and they
dumb
run through.
down.
No, that's
To the
Django
dumbest
at
point
cover
of
and
just
they run through quickly for the single. So
sticking
one
a
more to the
stamp
total.
next to
Salmon
your
is
party
now
side.
finally
Well,
off
the
the
reason
mark.
why
Space 10
I brought up
deliveries.
this
That's
discussion this
202
morning.
for 3. You haven't answered my question. Why
Well,
are
I
they
went through the whole discussion of oil and gas and where we are.
arrangement
You
in
find
the
it
debate,
strange.
And
I think
we
that's
jumped
a
to the
general
point
thing
where
with
we in
players now. They
2026.
have different types of
So
slip
what do
fielding.
you
Here is a
want to
delivery
see
coming
for
back at
2029?
Shan. That's a good
Not
delivery. A little bit
2030,
of bounce and came
2029.
back at him. Seemed to have
Because the
struck
rate
him
that
somewhere.
AI is
He's
moving
bending over. I
throughout
thought
the
that ball hit
world,
him maybe on the glove,
right? And it's
high
in-
up on the
and-
glove,
and-
but
and it
he's
is
in
in
some
pockets.
discomfort at the moment.
Hold on.
Yeah.
YouTubers
But
saying
for the
that
right-hander,
they're hearing
they
boogie
orthodox
cricket
two
and
slips
us.
and a gully. So I'm just
Can you all
wondering if
confirm,
it is
YouTube,
that
can you all confirm
that
that
Shan
you all are
tends
hearing
to
the cricket
open the face of the
and
us?
bat,
Yeah,
are you
that the
all
ball
only hearing the cricket
tends to go
alone?
down to the gully area.
But it also
Well,
depends
I
on
guess
the
it
angle
go
in
to
which
the
the bowler
hair,
is
I
bowling.
guess.
He coming wrong the
President
wicket.
Morning.
He's a
Facebook,
right-hand
can you
bowler.
confirm if you're
It's
hearing
expected
us
to
or
tuck
are
him
you
up.
hearing
So
cricket? Okay,
the slips
somebody
are
on
in
WhatsApp now
place
text me
for
too.
that type
We're
of shot. You
hearing
talked
cricket
about
in the
him
background on
having the
YouTube.
tendency to get under the ball and lift the ball over the slip area.
Okay,
And
we're
they
working
started
on
to
it right
slip.
now.
And that's
Don't
not a
worry,
bad
don't
thing
worry.
at
We
all
iron
because
out
the
the
ball is a
kinks.
bit older
Yes,
now.
somebody-
But he's
YouTube
getting
is
some
saying yes,
treatment.
they're only hearing- they're
And
hearing
it's good
cricket.
news for the West Indies team. They have to make different statements out there. Then bowl the ball, the new ball, in the right areas consistently.
somebody now
They have a
text here.
chance to better that and correct that.
Something is going
And he
on.
started
It's like
off
two
quite
programs
well.
coming over at the same time.
Yeah,
Or
well,
he's messed up listening online radio and it's playing
Shan
okay. So
is getting Shan
somebody is saying
Masood is getting
they're
some
listening to
treatment.
online
So
radio
it did hit
and
him
it's
high
playing
up on the
okay.
glove because he's taken
It's
off
playing
that
good.
the left
It's
glove,
playing good on this side.
the glove on the
But
left
you two
hand,
can't make it out
and
good. Two programs
he's getting some
playing.
treatment.
Yeah,
Yes,
remember
Tony?
what happened yesterday with
And you see, look, we
Pakistan
have
in
piece
the
of
early
fresh
morning.
technology
The
here.
early morning moisture seemed to create some traction. And there was some odd bounce
so Trinidad-
here and
Trinidad
there,
and Tobago
and
radio
off a good
stations
length too.
.net,
So
which is
that can be
online radio.
concerning for the
She's
Pakistanis, but
saying that
more
it's coming
concerning
from
for
properly there.
the West Indians who have to bat last on this pitch.
It's going to be interesting.
No, but YouTube
That,
saying they in cricket.
Raise up your-
And I'm
your
wondering,
YouTube
you know,
volume and see what
blows,
it is.
psychological blows like
yeah,
this.
yeah.
I'm sorry, blows like
Yeah, yeah.
well, the ball is going to bounce a little bit more. I've got to cater for
Okay,
that.
you two,
And then one that
we're
doesn't
sorting
bounce
this out right
as
now.
much, yeah, if you could find
say he
yourself
ain't
in
cricket.
problems.
Yeah, and at level 3, there's something that is called internal
We're not hearing us at
interference.
all,
Level
eh?
3 cool.
Yeah, cricket.
Yeah, in cricket. No, you're hearing them, you too, you know, if you listen. Hello, hello. Hello, hello.
Okay, so let's continue.
Right. Right. So the reason why I started this topic was because of this person, basically. I was just going through the internet and I saw this person. And I like, these are the people that will have to weigh in on the discussions that I'm having here now. Which means there's a large section of the population that not even are interested in what I'm saying, or you could even comprehend what I'm saying. But I'm bringing the information to you for you to understand exactly what's going on, right? So what do you want to see in 2029? And are we going, the question will be, are we going to a point where, how to put it, we just, are we going to sit down and follow the motion of just waiting on oil and gas? Well, waiting on gas basically, right? And if we put the distillation column into effect, we will be getting other things. We'll be getting other things from we'll be getting other stuff.
Yeah, it was.
What going on here? Another person calling me. I wonder what they're calling me about. Yeah, but generally,
Yeah,
yeah.
we calling you to tell you about the audio, but we sort it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, we'll sort it out, right? So, and I was like, these are the people that had a weigh on the information, right? But are we going to? The question would be, are we going to stay in that zone that we are just looking for money via oil and gas alone? Are we predominantly oil and gas, or do we need to diversify into other things? Because we have AI, right? we are not in the age of mega farms and that's that dotish talk, and we have grown leaps and bounds from the mega farm discussion back in 2003 and 2004 and thing, right? We have now into the age of vertical farming. We are in the age of hydroponics. We are in the age of so many different
solar technology.
We have
wind farm technology.
Lovely. As we go along, we have the opportunities to change the way we're doing things at a faster rate and at a cheaper rate. Right? So are we going to keep ourselves in that zone of just sitting down and waiting on oil and gas? For instance, we have in Barbados, they recently formed a medicinal marijuana clinic in Barbados, right? We did that in St. Lucia, I think it was, right? So they're talking about, when they're talking about in this day and age, in 2026, when they get up to talk in the parliament and they're talking about marijuana, they're talking about marijuana like if it's a normal drug. CBD oil and all these different pieces that makes up the marijuana industry. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right up the Caribbean there, Right up the Caribbean.
Jamaica already made the
too. And when I opened the papers, I seen 1.5 million kilos of marijuana seized and burned. And I like, are we behind the 8 ball or something? So where are we with these kind of discussions?
We have too much grandma and grandpa in parliament.
Well, I don't know. I really don't know.
But
ask a question.
Let us be fair. As much as we have grandpa and grandma in parliament, they enjoy first world lives, eh?
Well, we would think so.
They know of all the first world tech, all the first world. They are aware of it.
Well, okay. Look like for instance, Khadija went to Japan, and I know she would have seen things.
Yes.
That are just phenomenal.
Yes.
Things like garbage collection.
Yes, she went to the biodegradable facility. Yes, she did.
She would have seen how the drains look, how the corners look. All these different pieces, she would have seen technology at work about the changing lanes and thing with machines now. It's not a matter of man going and pick up a red cone and move it to that spot.
Yeah.
It's not about that. It's about trucks now coming now and changing the center barrier to a further center. Just driving along and moving blocks and changing the traffic pattern. About so many different things you would see in Japan that is new, technologically wise, and AI driven in a lot of instances. That it is almost like we stuck. We stuck in our time up or something.
We stuck because it's broken by design and it benefits some to keep us in a third world mentality.
Well, I don't want to say that, but that could be a possibility.
I'm convinced. Okay, look at it.
The lines open there?
Before I Show Speed come Trinidad, nobody knew about what streaming was and what chat was. And I told people I have been streaming for roughly 2 decades.
Right.
So it was always wrong. If you see, I say that we limit ourselves when we choose to just watch the same thing over and over on YouTube. You were sitting down saying you were watching Elon Musk.
Right.
How many Trinidadians you know will actually be sitting down watching Elon Musk? How many Trinidadians you know on Twitter? We literally buy cell phones to use 3 apps: Facebook, WhatsApp, and YouTube. Half of us knows nothing else that our phones could do. Are we not curious to know?
Well, boy,
people calling you and telling you my phone full and I don't know how to clear it. And when you tell them to clear it, all of them go in and download a file manager app.
You see, a lot of people see diversification as only moving away from putting money into the GDP and they see it as, okay, we're based on oil and gas.
Yeah.
And
because that's all they've known for years.
From that.
But
what about the human aspect of it?
Yeah, but not only that.
Educational aspect of it.
But Snipes, you did something there just now.
A type of diversification when it comes to moving your people forward. You have to move your people forward.
Yes, but Snipes, look, I noticed something the other day, and look, you know the other day, and I was telling people, we have to now say these things as words. You use the word GDP. What if I told you, Friday gone, when I used that word on the station, somebody who listened to the show met me and asked me, what is GDP?
Guys, we have some calls.
Right? Take them.
All right, welcome.
Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Obi. Good morning, Mr. X.
Morning, Mr.
Morning.
I really think I always say that mindset. Our mindset needs a reset. I agree with what Obi said, right? That our system seems to be broken by design, right? When we look at what Philip Alexander talks about with water storage and distribution, how much years is it going to take us to implement that, right? How long have we been talking about garbage collection and recycling and the dumping sites being overwhelmed and we watching China burning garbage and making electricity? So much so where they have to buy garbage from other people. And you mean to tell me we have a problem here? The Caribbean have a problem here. And we ain't seeing where we could, implement that in Trinidad and Tobago and deal with our problem. So it's not just mindset. It is broken by design. Because we're seeing things that could help us, where it could actually produce income. If some buy garbage and deal with that problem in the Caribbean, everybody wants to come here. And we just watching our place getting filled by filth. I feel up, yes. I think we want it to. Have a good day, people. Thank you.
Well, at some point, right, we have to get off that horse. We have to get off of that horse.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Morning.
Hello? Hello?
Stop listening on your radio and listen to the phone, please.
Hello?
They're listening online, so there's call us back,
Yeah, so we have to advance the discussion because we can't be sitting down in 2026 and talking about 2003 solutions to our problems, which is waiting on oil and gas. We get the gas, we get our money, we spend it, and that's the end of the discussion. That cannot be the way that we're supposed to be going. And I love the way that this government is talking about AI centers, because that is an opportunity to sell stuff. Because you own the data, you would be able to capture the data, you'll be able to manipulate the data, you'll be able to do so many things with that AI center that is going to shape how Trinidad looks within the next couple of years. Picture what 2029, if we get an AI center next year, picture what 2029 and beyond is going to look like.
Yeah.
Because we have powers right now that we don't believe we have, It's only when people show you what it is possible.
Yeah.
As I tell him, my brethren sent my app yesterday at Tobago AI Concierge, where you could be on a phone, right? And type in what you want to see. A 4-bedroom hotel, a 5-bedroom hotel, a cottage, a Airbnb, everything you wanted, you could just type it in, and the chatbot chatting with you, and getting your results based on that data, That is how serious it thing getting, It's not like before, we had to come off the island and go in the airport and hope to see our information desk to get. No, it's not about
not
that.
Only that too. Look like a simple thing as ChatGPT, right? I'm sure all of us have it on our phone, right? ChatGPT AI. But I can tell you now, if I give you my phone and I tell you use my ChatGPT, it'll never respond to you. I teach my ChatGPT that you are only to speak when the person tells you good morning. I treat my AI like a human being. So I start by saying good morning. And the AI now can respond based on the time of day. So if I was to say good morning at 12 p.m., she will respond and say, it's not good morning, Adrian, it's good afternoon. And that is me.
That is the part of AI that is very frightening, because now you can manipulate data to suit how you want it to respond to you. How it learns from you, because the algorithms and all these different pieces picks up how you flow on a daily basis, how you walk. The same thing like when I'm talking about with the kit to make you get up out of that chair and be able for you to be able to walk with it, and it learns how you walk, and patterns your strides and all them kind of thing, and eventually you start walking normal. You ain't walking like a robot, you're walking
a guy made one
normal.
And he was using it on a delivery driver.
Yeah.
And he gave the delivery driver it, and he said, listen, would you try this on? It will help you walk better. And the guy was a bit skeptical. He said, no, trust me, it's AI. And he just strapped it onto his leg, and when the guy started to walk, the AI he felt certain stiffness on his legs and stuff, and that was the AI adjusting his posture to give him the minimal amount of resistance in his own steps. So it was course correcting how he walks, so that he moves more efficiently.
I don't want us gentlemen to go into just how much the AI would help us and lose track of the narrative that Mr. X was drawing and the timeline that he was drawing.
Where we could be by 2030.
Where we could be by 2030. You know,
we could be
starting from oil
in Caribbean,
coming up the road to what we use.
Are we going to sit down and just wait on oil and gas, or gas alone?
And
is our next windfall going to be? We get our money from gas. Hey, we get our money.
That is what, listen,
and then we go and take it. And then when we take it now, when we take that money now, what we going to do with it?
That is what most of them are convinced to wait for. Let me tell you something.
China is leaps and bounds ahead of the world.
There are people who are saying that because of the fact that Dragon Gas, they are saying that we mess up the 2030 Dragon Gas deal that would have fixed Trinidad and Tobago.
Caller,
good day.
Yeah, morning.
Morning.
X and Snipes. Yeah. Gentlemen, Obi, 100% agree with what you're saying. It's by design, and it's by political design that we are where we are. But I want to tell you something. We are 20 years behind. We're 30 years behind.
Oh, Lord.
When it comes to computers and the technology. Because I would tell you that would be in probably 1983. I don't know if you ever hear about our operating system for a computer called DOS.
Yeah.
Right. If you remember where that was, at that time we were using basic programming and C programming to do what you would have gotten as a Macintosh that developed into Windows.
Yeah.
We again color screen and color this and that and thing, and then all of a sudden you hear Windows come out with Mac, and then it developed from that.
Yeah.
So we're 30 years behind. I remember applying for a job as a data operator in Petrotrin. They now get computers, right? And by the time I actually get work in Petrotrin, they tell me, well, we have no work for data operators, because all them computers you're seeing in them rooms and them, they're working yet. Thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars are spent to put computers,
And nobody knows how to work it.
And nobody didn't know how to work it. Everybody's still dealing with pen and paper. And the man tell me, well, you're going to take a labor and work instead.
Wow.
You understand?
Right.
And then about 3 years after that, Windows come out. You understand?
Yeah.
And they had to take everything they had there and take it and throw it in the dump.
Yep.
And buy a new set of computers.
See what I mean?
Right? So that's the kind of things we're talking about wrong in Trinidad and Tobago.
And listen,
right? When Kamala was there I want to believe in 10.
We have too many things that are happening so fast that is leaving us behind.
Yeah.
And I am glad the government is talking about an ICT AI center because this gives us an opportunity to advance the conversation and what Dominic is doing in his department where AI is concerned, because everything now
is that
it keep bouncing your shoulder and you keep shrugging it off. So are we going to sit down and wait on gas basically? Is that our focus? Is
and
that
keep the next generation
and keep the next you know what I mean? And
X, I'm gonna tell you something. You see that problem they have in that cleanup program they have? Yeah. I Google it. Anything you'd like to say we Google?
Right.
And that give me all that I basically said, put in all the problems that are in the program.
Right.
Right? And tell me how to solve it. Right? And the same thing I was telling them at that point in time a while back, months ago. Computerize the whole bloody department and get rid of all them people that
I gave them an app. I gave them an app to follow. And boy, them just there. Right now. That's there.
They could have solved that problem weeks ago. You understand?
Yeah.
But we for some reason we just keep holding back ourselves. And we're not going with what is out there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Places like Guatemala and Panama, I think them going way ahead of we, partner.
Singapore,
way ahead.
Look, we call them. All right, okay, thanks a lot. Yeah,
robotics is something we should be teaching.
Well, we are teaching it in what is the name of the school, boy? It's our school that teaching AI
MIC and all teaching it a little bit
workers in industries and that kind of stuff. It have courses like that. But we need to start carrying on these conversations, because if we let this thing only hitting us, and we just shrugging it off. You know what I mean? And how long we will shrug it off for?
Microsoft was supposed to open a school here, and
what them two things I said there?
Come shut it down.
What them two things I said there?
Yeah, thank you, caller.
That the kind of powers we talking about. Are we talking about? Talking into our phone? Everybody has a smartphone now. Yeah, about 4 years ago, everybody did not have a smartphone. That me too.
But look, it have people who have tech, right? Like look a simple thing as this week here for my emancipation outfit.
Right.
Everybody is doing graphics design now from the AI on the phone. So everybody who want a logo going through AI to get to make the logo, right?
Right.
But when it's time to print from the AI design to a t-shirt, clothing, or material, a lot of people can't do it. You know why? Because there's a specific program that you have to create to do it, and most people don't know. Right. So a lot of people who are designing t-shirts and things, when they go to print it from AI, it's not working. I have a partner in South, big tech whiz. He sit down and write coding to upscale and remove all the problems from AI graphics thing, because my emancipation jersey was something I designed in AI.
Right.
And I knew he was the only person in Trinidad that could print it. Nobody else. And that is because he understands AI and knows about it. So we have a society, most people in Trinidad aren't even tech savvy with a computer.
Right.
When Kamala Prasad Bissessa decided to give children laptops.
But we talking about we not savvy. I told 3 years ago.
Right, so this is what I'm saying.
Everybody did not have a smartphone. They didn't have a Samsung or
but
iOS.
Not only that.
But
because Kamala Prasad Bissessa gave children laptops, that was the introduction of laptops or computers to most homes across Trinidad and Tobago. Most people didn't have a computer in their house. Well, most people's first computer was seeing the children come home with a computer.
Well, I don't want us to get caught up in the zone where we just relaxed and waiting on oil and gas to get us over the line. I am not comfortable.
We're going for the
play. I'm not comfortable with that at all. You know, but we're going for the play people, and we'll come back when we are finished. All right?
From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition, the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
Some stories are written in books. Others live in the hearts and memories of a people. One of Tobago's most famous folk legends is that of Gangang Sarah, a mysterious African woman said to have flown across the Atlantic and settled in the village of Golden Lane. According to the legend, she possessed the power of flight, but after living in Tobago and eating salt, she lost her ability to return home. Her story has been passed down through generations and remains one of the island's most treasured pieces of folklore. During the Tobago Heritage Festival, visitors gather in Golden Lane to hear the tale brought to life through storytelling and cultural presentations. It is a reminder that heritage is not only found in historical records, but also in the stories people share from one generation to the next. This is Tobago's oral tradition at its finest, and in 2026, Tobago invites you to hear it for yourself.
Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story. From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition, the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
The Tobago Heritage Festival is much more than a series of cultural shows. It is Tobago's largest annual celebration of history, traditions, and community spirit. Created in the mid-1980s to preserve the island's unique customs, the festival brings Tobago's past to life through music, dance, storytelling, food, and folklore. Unlike many festivals that take place in one location, the Tobago Heritage Festival spreads across villages throughout the island. Each community proudly presents its own traditions, giving visitors an authentic look at Tobagonian life and culture. This year's festival runs from July 16th to August 1st, 2026, celebrating the importance of community, togetherness, and cultural identity. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026, keeping Tobago's rich heritage alive for future generations.
Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story. From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition, the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
The Tobago Heritage Festival This hurricane season, be prepared. A hurricane tip from the TTT Limited Media Network. When disaster strikes, communication is critical. Every family should have an emergency plan. Make sure everyone knows important telephone numbers, where to meet if separated, and what to do if evacuation becomes necessary. Parents should ensure children know who to contact during an emergency and where emergency information is kept. It's also important to identify the nearest shelter and understand evacuation routes in your community before they are needed. The best emergency plans are simple, practical.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stephan and Mr X. Fearless talk and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Take it front with Office.
All right, folks, we're back inside, and yeah, it is indeed an interesting morning, right? Because we are knocking heads here, basically on issues that are affecting us, and we have to be able to. I thought it prudent that we brought up this issue because mainly because of that video. Funny enough, because I am realizing that the discussions that we're supposed to have around certain things. Is if people will be able to comprehend number one, and number two, how is it going to better our lives in any way, basically, right? Because I watching people in town and people walking around, and I wonder if I could have this discussion with somebody.
No, the two,
you know, just on Henry Street or you know what I mean? If I could have this discussion at all with them. For them to understand what they're saying.
What I'm going to say is AI coming to take over everything, and we don't need that here. And all the data centers loud. Just the other day,
I almost get me in trouble. You know?
With what?
I almost go to see. You can't have that conversation with on air.
Nah. Don't say that. Nah, I call back and all. Because last week I had a guy calling who lives next to a data center. I didn't want to tell people his background, but he's in the environment and in the field of it. And the data center that he operates out of, it makes no noise. None. He said the only time you hear that data center make noise is if they turn on generators. Okay. Outside of that, the data center is quiet.
We had time when people are annoyed. You see, the change is what's scaring people. Eh?
Yeah.
You see, change is a real kind of. You see, when you're accustomed doing things one way. I send in Pop's program. I send to the IT man, right? And I keep making this mistake all the time, right? IT people are not AI specialists or AI user case specialists. Right? And I keep forgetting that. And I keep trying to talk to IT people, and they more or less shrug off, you know, what okay, I show him something on AI the other day. He tell me, yeah, send it to me, wherever. Not a response. Right? And it's something to make the program much more effective. And it's a very simple format, right? It's a format where you come on the job site. So long as you're on the job site, you take up you log in basically as you reach on the job site, and it takes timestamp, it takes everything, and it prompts you to take a picture, and with that picture it takes a geotag of where you are, and you're putting that information.
Right.
So you don't have to sign a book, you don't have to do anything.
Right.
It logs where you are,
okay.
And if you're leaving the location, you just plug in information wherever that they're leaving, and they're coming back, and wherever, and all of that tracking you on the job site, and the man wouldn't say respond.
X, I will tell you why.
Yeah.
It's not only a case that Trinidadians are afraid of change, you know. Trinidad and Tobago is rocket land.
Well,
so
that
we don't want anything that will force us to have any form of accountability. That what you are basically saying is accountability there. That program now will know when you come to work, when you leave, your movements, and with that now you can run away and take your quick beer, your quick coffee, your quick rituals.
Right, okay.
So you have a source, because let's be honest, we talking AI and digital age, but majority of the government infrastructure in this country behind by decades. When sometimes you go to T and Tech or someplace to pay a bill, and the computer you hear them saying, "Oh God, boy, why this computer slow, eh?" You can't tell me you never hear that before. And you wondering how the computer slow, how it taking so long to load. And it's because there are old systems in place. It's
willfully done that way.
You understand? You can't tell me you never experienced it. It's behind by decades, right? And sometimes you go to the pump. Okay, let me be thinking. We ain't call any bank name, but I look at it have an ATM machine by Food Basket by Mongdo, and it have 2 ATM inside Extra Foods in Arangwes. And I am telling you, those ATMs could never be fast service. Them designed to make you get robbed. and not only that, the touch screen on the ATM so poor. You feel like you're touching the first version of a phone, a touchscreen phone or tablet. You have to press it. You press it until you see the liquid crystal bending in the screen. and they're calling that modern technology.
Well, it last 4 years ago, you could not use your card to pay for things.
No, you can tap your card.
You notice you could tap your card?
Yeah.
How many people realize that difference?
No, but it have people who are afraid to tap the card. It have people who saying, I don't trust that tap thing now. Let me push it in now. It have people like that, X.
Well, it kind of scary to it. To be tapping your card to use it.
X
in a grocery or wherever it is.
Getting 3G, 4G, and 5G. People are saying that radiation would poison your brain.
Yeah, but we ain't reached the point where the central banks ain't talking about Zelle and them kind of thing.
Yeah, but look.
You can send a Zelle via, when I out foreign, I just send a Zelle via phone number or email. Right? And they just send money to somebody that they owe it.
Listen, let me show you how when I understood how third world we are. You see, when it was time for me to monetize my Facebook page, and I noticed that Trinidad was region lock,
right?
Just because of the government. All they had to do is write one letter to Zuckerberg. Hi, we want Trinidad to be ting ting ting, and everybody could earn revenue off of Facebook. And up to this day, nobody ever sent a message. You know what time I asked them to open that? Why Cash App don't work in Trinidad?
Yeah, why Cash App don't work? Why?
Right? And then
Cash App.
It would take away from the profits of the local bank.
Exactly. So then a local bank come out with Encash and what happened? It busts. Because why? Trini's afraid to use it? Because Trini's saying they don't trust it. They're not familiar with the technology.
No,
but Encash was Cash App.
Is Encash applicable to the foreign accounts?
No.
Well, no, they didn't open it up.
And that's
the problem right there.
The problem because we want to purchase things from Temu and we want to purchase things online.
And this is why I said it's broken by
friends
design.
And family in the palm of our hands that don't live in Trinidad.
Exactly.
And we want to receive from people that don't live in Trinidad. So when you gatekeep and you build a platform that is limited, you're doing the same thing.
How TSCT gone from rotary phone and wherever and they adapt,
but not
and they're talking about the highest profits ever today.
Again, it is limited to what Trinis know, because here what? This is Strike, right? I could show you this. This is Strike.
Yeah, I had
Strike.
I had Stripe on my phone.
Strike is Cash App that works here. It's just Trinis don't know about it. They don't know how to use it.
Who would it benefit to promote Strike? Who is going to cut that deal?
It will benefit the citizens, but the businesses and the banking sectors and stuff won't benefit them. It's the same way with Guap. I just use Guap for my online transactions because Guap gives me US rate to my US dollar. If I bring that money through MoneyGram or Western Union, I not get any same rate. again less.
Well, money grandmother said you know them is robbery show.
Again,
Them is robbery
less.
without a gun.
But you see,
Robbery
most
without a gun.
Trinidadians, they don't know that. And here what is the first thing. You see, when you try to educate, and this is why I believe it's happening with the AI thing. You see, when we try to educate anybody on these things, here what the most Trinidadians think. All of that I had to do, boy. If you know that's pissed me, you want the money, you know. But when I come in to tell you, well, listen, this how you had to say, all of that I had to do, boy, you can't set up that for me.
Well, we love to go through people. That's why we just get robbed. We love to go through people. The thing we can do it yourself. Hello, good day.
Good day, baby Trump.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Hey, new technology, while it is good, my brother Obi, I think you know, I'm not telling you anything you don't know already, but just for the regular folks out there, anything new that comes out, especially when it comes in this digital age today, don't jump on it so fast. For example, if a new car come out, a new version of a new dryer, washing machine, whatever, you know that normally you would have their little kinks in it before it's all ironed out, right?
Yeah.
And what I must say is that I not like the guy who well, God bless his soul, he died when he ran for president, McCain. He wanted to be president in the United States, and he says he knows nothing about how to operate a computer. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And you have to have people carrying the football. That's where they carry the nuclear codes. You know those guys with the briefcases behind him, right? Normally military people, right? And he don't know how to operate a computer. You want to run this country. But anyway, what I'm saying though, when it comes to biometrics, I don't do that. For example, when I know I have to work in different states sometimes, you know, they send me wherever, right? I checking into my room, my card doesn't work. And I said, what the heck is going on here? And then when I realize is that they want you to put your finger scan, I say, I wonder if my hierarchy knows about this. And I brought it to their attention. Myself and those included, we get checked into another hotel. You know why? Information is power.
Yeah, we
and
know
in
that.
this digital age, why does a hotel need my fingertip, my fingerprint?
Yeah.
So I can get into my room.
Data mining is a must now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Data mining
they
is
sell
a
that.
must.
Is a hell of a thing. So information is power. So while they have precious metals and all this sort of stuff, information on you, me, and everybody, that is a big seller out here. So
well, that's
I
a
would
here
have,
too, but under certain circumstances, because for instance, they have groups in this how to put it, promoters here that share information. They share emails, they share phone numbers, and that's how they attract as much people as they normally attract for the events.
Well, yeah, that is for promotion purposes, and they want to sell it for market you. And next thing you're getting texts and emails selling it to, hey, I can get you 6 inches bigger or whatever crap like that, right? But I'm speaking about the bigger picture. The bigger picture is that, okay, let's say your thumbprint or your fingerprint, right? It's a digital. While it's digital, right? Guess what? It's still digital and it's still an image. You come on, let's not be naive. You know, hackers could duplicate almost anything now, right? And more so too. You know who mining this big time personal information? China.
Yep.
And so to the Russians and others, right? They have everything on everybody, maybe including me too. So anyway, I just wanted to share that, but very good conversation. I am listening. And X, I'm going to take your advice. I'm going to wash down a caboose now, if that make you happy.
Right.
Yeah.
You're walking.
But I'm not saying that we cannot jump. I agree. You cannot jump on everything as soon as it comes out.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is you cannot stay so far behind that everybody else gets ahead of you.
Yeah.
You have to have some basic entry level of learning so that you move according
most
to it.
important, I am not hearing any conversations about the governance of AI. That is frightening.
Yeah.
Because yesterday I watched a picture with Trump. I watched 2 videos. One with him falling down and he fainted next to his vehicle, and the next one he being helped into his vehicle as normal. You see that in terms of how you sell stuff and how you portray stuff and so on, there must be some governance, around the board tables, around the different, people who are in charge, because we are not paying enough emphasis on the governance of it.
Yeah.
So while it is nice and it is all well and good, the governance of it is very important. How we use it, how we interpret it, how we
secure it,
very important. Cybersecurity and all these different pieces need to have conversations around. And I am not right now. It's just a free fall. It's just everybody just doing what they want with no consequence. That is frightening also too. So while it is very good and it helps and it enhances and whatever, at the ending of the day, the governance part of it needs to be sharpened up across the board, because China is using it every day. Because China had dog, China had new woman,
they have
everything. Car,
train, plane, everything.
Right in Philadelphia and them places.
Woman, I forget.
Yeah. People leaving their work, leaving their madam because of them dollar them, Because them dollar them talking they like normal and no arguing. Most important, no arguing. And they're talking they like normal. So it's just a matter of time before we reach that point where it is all over the place. And Dubai have a AI police station, you know about that?
Yeah.
There was a AI police station in Dubai.
I think it's a material.
I saw dread it is.
Yeah. But you see, again, we is how do you get the society to conform? Because look, I was showing people something simple like this. In terms of your social media, a lot of the times when people's social media get hacked, all of the platforms just get hacked at the same time. And everybody's be wondering why. And I just tell people because you have synchronize on. I doesn't have synchronize on none of my applications. So there's nothing that says this is synced to this.
Right.
And in terms of password, I have a password for every single thing, and it's a manual password made up of numbers.
I have one password for everything.
Yeah, and you see, and that's not safe thing.
That's not good.
That's not safe thing.
Not
only that,
but how you keep in track? I have a whole note on my phone with all my passwords.
Yeah,
but most of them is the same. But I have a note with all my passwords on them. My 3 passwords, and as you must use one basically.
The first thing you need to do is take that off your phone.
Because why? Because if you lose the phone, you can get it.
Yeah, but I just can't remember all them password.
Store it elsewhere.
Well, no.
Where I storing that?
This is what I'm. This is what I'm going to educate you with. What I do. I just triple. I believe in terms of 3. So I write it down physically on a book home, right? I back it up on a flash drive, right? And then on my phone, I have something called a password vault.
Yeah, password vault. Yeah.
Right?
I had that on my phone, but I don't use it.
Now with the iOS has a built-in password vault that locks that. The iOS one, I could trust that. I'm not an Apple user, but I would say for having an iPhone, I could see that.
Yeah, but everybody ain't thinking like you. Imagine how much people have my problem, which is a password for everything. Don't have a bank card and all.
There are people out there that their job is to crack
your thing. And that is why I have manual passwords for everything. And then I don't deal with biometrics.
Well,
so
that's why I'm talking about
a fingerprint.
Well, that's why I'm talking about
or a facial nothing. I don't use them thing. If a man coffee in your face, you can't open your phone. So this is why I believe in physical passwords. But again, if you have to get the society to make that pivot, the government not only has to introduce it, they need to put it in people's faces as much as possible.
Well, saying that is one thing, but getting the population will ask, how is this going to make money for us? We started on a trajectory of X outlining, because we're speaking about the benefits of the services from AI and all this technology. And I want to draw it back to the data mining centers because everyone is asking the same question on
how
the ground. People who don't have a clue what a data center does do, they're interested in one common thing. How
it making money?
How it making money? How is this diversification?
You all answered that question at the beginning of the show. You and X.
Well, nobody is going down that road.
Yeah, but you right.
Just
but
like
you
how
and
nobody
X,
not talking about laws
you
to
and
protect.
X. Yeah, but you and X answered that question at the beginning of the show. You remember you all said Patrick Manning's 2020 vision was to take everything of the Caribbean and bring them and put them in a building in Port of Spain and make us the central hub
I have seen the
for that, right? We being the first in the Caribbean to have data centers to that capacity now means any other Caribbean island that is not up to par with that, their data can now be stored here.
Just about 3 minutes to the hour of
Their data can be stored here. And we could charge a fee.
By what you said, kind of raised that bulb over my head again, because I'm a critical thinker like that. X can tell you. I remember when the late Manning said that he wanted to do that. It opened up a can of worms.
Pandora's box.
You would have taken away earnings from a particular set of people. And within that year, he was demonized.
Yeah.
And again, because of fear.
Now that we have a president...
Well, not because of fear, because of done in my
It's
pocket.
money. It's
Done
money.
in my pocket.
Yeah. So now that we have a government trying to diversify and
It's the same thing happening.
bring back money into a system where we have
It's
a
the
system
same thing
with
happening.
no control. Is it that they're demonizing this government in this way and fear-mongering because
Yes.
they don't have control over
Yeah.
what is
Yes.
about to happen?
Yes.
I'm
Control
just
is in the
asking a question.
Yes.
I don't know.
Control is the name of the game, you know?
Yes.
Remember the conversation with Star Sabga? She said she's going to check all the big men, her big men, to come out and lambast the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
That alone should send a signal, eh?
Let me listen. Not only that, look at things like when I say it's broken by design. The first thing that made it broken by design was this. You remember the boom of shopping online? When the boom of shopping online, when Trinis understood how to use a skybox, how to bring in things, what did Money Leprechaun do? Money Leprechaun come and introduce 12% tax on it to stop us from making as much money online, right? To force us to purchase more from the local public. And then what started to happen to force us to purchase even more from the public? Banks started lowering the amount we could get to use of our card. It's broken by design.
Yep.
It's broken by design. It's to force you to stay in your ecosystem. Buy everything here. Consume. You will consume. You own nothing.
Interesting thought.
How are we?
It's factual.
3 men in this room.
Right.
What are 3 different directions that you would advise, and it could be one of the same, you would advise the present administration to go in when it comes to diversification?
Well, I have one.
We have
1 minute.
Yeah, so let's go for that break,
and we'll come back with the
when we
thoughts.
come back, and I'd also like to ask the people on the outside, X, if you
To
would
chime in,
to chime in on, at least give us 2 or 1. One way in which
we can
you would, if you're given the chance to sit with the powers that be, one piece of advice that you would give to them to diversify this economy. Let's just see.
There we talking about.
Let's just see where the mindset of the people is.
Right?
Very good.
Lovely.
Love it.
Where's that? Where
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stephan and Mr X. Fearless talk and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Take it front with Officer Shabadi. Go beyond limits with Roland Stewart. Drive home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition, the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
The Tobago Heritage Festival is much more than a series of cultural shows. It is Tobago's largest annual celebration of history, traditions, and community spirit. Created in the mid-1980s to preserve the island's unique customs, the festival brings Tobago's past to life through music, dance, storytelling, food, and folklore. Unlike many festivals that take place in one location, the Tobago Heritage Festival spreads across villages throughout the island. Each community proudly presents its own traditions, giving visitors an authentic look at Tobagonian life and culture. This year's festival runs from July 16th to August 1st, 2026, celebrating the importance of community, togetherness, and cultural identity. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026, keeping Tobago's rich heritage alive for future generations.
All right, people, we're back inside, and this is off the record. Of course, myself and Stephan Reese, but he's not here this week, and I am accompanied by the able-bodied, the original Obi, and the master of it all, the original Nigel Snipes.
Yes.
We have a synergy from years ago.
Years ago, man.
Sitting down.
He gave me my first chance. He and George gave me my first chance in radio.
Really?
Yeah.
In
a canal.
But look at it. I didn't even know you was on a veteran radio.
So let me share some information. Some history that I don't usually share. At that time, I was the then program director of
Across there.
Right.
I was the then program. So I was the youngest program director in radio.
In the whole of Trinidad and Tobago.
Whole of Trinidad and Tobago. I was Gladiator's boss.
Yeah.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah, so if I allow my beard to grow, it's white.
Really? Okay.
And
at my age.
And I never see him with a beard.
Wow.
And in the 18 years that we know one another, never.
He's always neat.
Never.
So when I got the opportunity, I was asked to do a particular show, and the boss asked me. He said, if I was to give you someone to work with, who would you want to work with? But at the time, X would have been listening to me and sharing points with me from a different perspective. So as soon as I come off the radio, or as soon as I used to smoke a lot, as soon as I go to smoke,
you love to smoke there back then.
I would look for X. It's like if I don't see X for the day because of the conversations, I like deep conversations from different perspective. X was the person who taught me the dullest of minds.
X was to you what Stephan was to me.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. But I had the opportunity to go into a lot of different ponds, but we developed a really good relationship. So when I said to the boss at the time, I want X. X was literally saying
in a canal. In the canal in front of the building, I was sitting on the road, on the canal. And George come and sit down in the canal with me.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was that kind of person.
Sit down in the canal with me. Not on the bench, you know. In the canal. Where the canal is there. We was just chilling because it's Friday evening, wherever. And he came and sit down in the canals. And I'll always be grateful for George, because George, I didn't understand George then. But I understand him now. For different incarnations that he went through, you know, and also Snipes too, for where he guided me to, you know, a place where I got to actually expatiate myself, kind of thing.
Hold on. Because I know I've seen what is happening here
I've
now.
seen several of the callers that claim to be veteran in calling radio. I've seen their birth.
But this is what I'm now about to say here now. You had Snipes. Snipes, you had Gerard and George and you. I had Stephan and this genius, this diabolical genius here, who was on the platform but didn't let me know he was there, but was mentoring. Because I would get the messages in the inbox and be like, who's this dude? But always admire the critical thinking. And I'm seeing now where you saw something in him and you passed that torch and he was like, listen, let me bring this.
My first time on radio is he.
Right.
Is what pry my hand off the mouse. Literally come in the studio and watch me sew.
He didn't shake, but he froze.
Yeah, just froze.
Right. And now he did the same thing to me, because here it is now where you would have passed that torch to him. He was, and Stephan just had a conversation here. Somebody sent me the conversation and he was like, okay, we're gonna do what you did to him. We're gonna now do this to Obi.
It's the only way.
It's the only way, I guess. It's the only way we know.
Create that genius.
And then when I reached in here, I remember how weird I felt. And honestly speaking, it was you who got me comfortable to the board, because I came early and you saw
let me give you a joke. Many years ago, my friend RKG here, he went into radio before me, because I was a hardcore selector, hardcore DJ.
He went in before you?
Yeah, he started at 105 FM.
All right. Yes. I remember that.
When he came to State Media, he would always come across and tell me, yo, you need to come across. Several times, several meetings, and my loyalty stopped me from moving, because when I'm loyal to something, I don't.
Yeah, you don't pivot.
You don't pivot.
I just think so too.
I tell you, man, all our big good morning, TNT.
Good morning.
Hey, this is the only RKG people.
Yeah, right,
good.
So you see, you shock him because he didn't know that. What you just said, right?
We have a lot of stories.
Yeah, because you see, let me get the history. I'll kind of summarize it. Just as he said, I started radio before him. He was into DJing before me. So he used to play in a lot of school bazaars, right, with Rhythm Nation back then, right? So I go into the bazaars. Back then I was just a chanter. So when I go on to a bazaar. When I decided to go to a bazaar, see the selector or whoever upon our instrumental, I go chant on the beat. So all that time, he rolling with Rhythm Nation. So I follow in wherever parties they go, Holy Cross, St. Augustine, and I watching him. I remember one St. Joseph College. I watching this man mashing up the place on the stage. And I saying at that time, beside being an artist, I want to do that. So I used to look up to him. Right? So when I end up getting in radio, right? And after 105, I came here. He's the first man I drove for.
Okay.
Because we grew up together basically. Maloney, we went Maloney Government Primary School. He went St. Joseph College. I went TML. Right? So I drove him and I begged that man out. That man loyal. That man was loyal. He was very, very loyal.
That's some things about him that I know that many people don't know, but we went through the whole caliber of radio.
I want to go back to our topic at hand. What we were asking before we went for the break. We were asking people
what can the government do, or what would we like? What would you like to see from this AI narrative that could better your country, or where you want to see,
not just the AI narrative. If you're given the opportunity to sit with the powers that be, what advice would you give to the government to move in the direction of diversification?
Well, I have one that is, myself and nobody. We have
because
one that we
everybody's
designed.
saying oil and gas, it's a problem.
Well, my own
let's look for solutions and let's see just how advanced or where the people at mentally when it comes to moving Trinidad and Tobago forward. If I put you in the driver's seat, because everybody's down on the Prime Minister back.
Everybody want to be a driver.
And everybody want us to find the money. Find the money to pay the workers. Find the money to pave the roads.
Right.
Find the money to clean the drains.
Do everything.
They want it and we want it now.
Yeah.
Tell us, how do you think we could move in the direction of getting this money?
Well, I have one and I'm going to give my own now very simply, right? It is what we call, myself and nobody, what we call the biggest gas station in Trinidad and Tobago. Alright? By that I mean, you see that peninsula down at the end of Trinidad and Tobago that we don't use, that is grossly underutilized and underfunded, is one that we can use to create monies. Right? For instance, the cruise ship industry. That's what we're targeting. Right? We trying to have at least 5 ships come into Trinidad every week. Right? Offload the passengers, bring them into the Tembledora area where it have a cruise ship kind of complex kind of scenario. And the government is responsible for funding for things like low sulfur diesel. All the things that they use for the ship, how much gallons of fuel they use a day, whatever. That's in the first phase, they generate about $2 billion alone in servicing ships. Right? We have solar, we have low sulfur diesel. Right. And on top of that, we are going to revitalize the peninsula. For instance, we are going to extend the boardwalk down to Tembledora area. So you have hashing, you have mountain bike, you have what is called the water park down there. You have all the different pieces meshing in one another. So if you come off the ship and let's say you want to feel Trinidad Carnival, you're getting a carnival down there. It have trucks, it have litter wardens,
and you just parade
and
like
have the security of the bases down there because the army bases down there, and you are safe. You can invite people to come down there to sell trinkets, to sell different things. You can invite the banks to bring down ATM, because the closest ATM is by Peaks. If you don't get by Peaks, you have to go out Point Kumana by Republic Bank, by the mall there, quite out the road. Right? So you can bring back the banks that was down there, revitalize the hotel down there, revitalize everything. Down to bike riding, you could rent a bike and ride on the bike path. All these different things you could utilize, and you can go back on a cruise ship and then know the rest of Trinidad exists.
Yeah, because you experience everything.
Because you experience everything from by Tembledora down to the army base. Everything you have, everything. But I'm telling you, we have a plan on how that works.
Full plan and design.
Right? So if you want, we have everything. We have a plan.
Let's take a call.
Hi,
welcome.
Good morning.
Yeah, morning, gentlemen. Morning.
Morning.
I like how the conversation expounding this morning. Facts over feelings every time.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying that why we
I
not
like that. I like that.
Why
I taken that.
we
I
not
taken that right.
tapping in?
I taken in that
Yeah,
right.
no
I taken
problem.
that.
Yeah,
right.
that call and
No problem,
this
brother.
call and
Facts over feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why, right?
Yeah.
If based on our situation and our position and our climate, we had the most top ranking cocoa in the whole world. We are the second best chocolate right now. We are the second best pepper right now. Why we not tapping into the marijuana industry and letting these Spanish people keep these things what they're
Because
selling
you
here?
see, it
You know, I should be
benefits,
taking
it
note of these
benefits a
things.
certain
Yep.
company. It benefits a
Talking
certain company for
diversification
years.
here.
Yeah.
It benefits a certain company for years to have more people behind bars for marijuana than to have it being sold and earning revenue.
Besides the recreation thing, I talk about the because St. Vincent doing it, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody doing it.
Barbados doing it too.
Yeah,
Barbados have a
Jamaica
whole
doing it
clinic.
Them have 2 medical marijuana contracts sending to Canada, you know.
Yeah.
It's not a big match thing, you know. It's just
Yes.
clones. You ship the clones, you get a space to keep it. You keep the climate cool. You do your thing and you produce right here, you know.
Yeah, but you see, like
We
I said,
we don't need these people thing coming in, you know,
well, like I
and
said,
bringing the thing with it, bringing with it,
it
you
is
know.
broken.
We don't need them
It is
thing, you know.
broken by design.
Caller,
But thank you,
may I
caller.
engage you?
Yeah, man. Plus, don't forget the data center is number 2. We could do them 2 things.
All right, so let me
and
put on the
capitalize
data
on some
centers.
tax to help the citizens of this country. Love and respect.
Yeah, man. Facts over feelings. Are we talking about?
Facts over feelings.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
man.
calling on the afternoon.
I wanted to ask facts over feelings. Respectfully, why do you believe it's difficult to get the marijuana industry on stream when we have patterns all over the world that we can take from? Because we normally
Simple.
do that.
You see, it's not that it wasn't coming on stream, you know. It was coming on stream. It's just a certain 1% wanted to be in full control of it. And the men and them in the mountain who just grew it say, hell no, we've been doing this thing for decades. We should have first shot at it. And the government at that time felt like we don't all get rich. So they blocked them. And then the 1% who wanted to have it, he shrink it down to size and he opened a set of stores selling clothes and
if I'm
merch
not-
and vapes.
If I'm not mistaken, probably I dreamt this. Didn't they give out licenses for?
No.
No,
They have,
that is what I'm saying. It was
they asked
heading
people
down
to
that
register?
road. It was heading down that road, and again.
What we call him is tweaking the document right now.
Yes.
Well, he's supposed to be tweaking the document. Let me make it be correct. What's his name? Ravi Ratiram.
Yeah.
Right. He's supposed to be tweaking the document in order to make it a viable product. But we have plenty of derivatives from weed.
Yeah,
That can
but
bring
again,
us
like I said,
prosperity.
The 1% owner, he wanted the market share of it, and the men in the mountains were saying no. And like I said, he was allowed to open his stores and whatever little thing and selling vape and t-shirt and whatever. Based on that, why they sort out the paperwork concerning who sells and who gets to produce. But like we say, we sticking to topic.
Yeah.
If it was up to me,
We're
personally,
asking callers, just to reiterate, if you're given the opportunity to sit with the powers that be, give us one diversification tactic that you would sell to the government. This is
Okay.
what we can do to make money.
Okay.
Right? Because we're moving away from oil and gas.
Okay.
Right? Our GDP was based on that for all our life.
Okay.
all our lives.
So I believe.
Let's
Let me
facts
take this
over
call
feelings
first.
again.
Facts over feelings. What you seen, bro?
Yeah, brother, facts over feelings. So I was saying it was designed that way. I just answered the brother question, right? You're asking why it's so hard. It's hard because it's designed for certain ilk of people to benefit from it.
Yeah. And that's what I'm
Exactly
telling
why
you.
it is that way, because if you check when they release the freeness upon it, well, which is decriminalization,
Yeah.
they come like they're giving one hand and taking in other hand.
Yeah.
Right? Because they give, which is the freedom to use and to consume and to express, right? But in the other hand, the amount of money and the amount of licensing that it have attached to getting that thing legalized and monetized, man, it's ridiculous. It's only conglomerates and people who is moguls could do that. That is the basis of that whole That is how it's structured right now, brother. You understand? Just answering brother Snipes' question. Respect and love.
All right, cool. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your contribution.
Here what my process would be. My process would be this. I believe that a big part of generating any form of revenue has to do with education. Right? You can't pivot into something without first educating. So, to me personally, what I would encourage the government to invest in that I know will generate revenue, I will ask them to change the school curriculum to introduce heavy business, because business is not something that is business and money marketing is not something that is taught in schools, and I would also let them pivot to information and technology.
That is not true. We have principles of business.
Yeah, but okay. If you look at what we learn in principle of business in our government school and what you learn in our private school is two different things. And the age that they start learning it is different. Because I can tell you, there are primary schools that are private that are teaching business from a primary school level.
Well, I did business from Form 3.
Right.
When you allowed to choose
right.
your,
Right. So this is what I'm saying. The business part, the information and technology part.
Stick up in.
Yeah,
hello, welcome.
Good day.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Pardon?
Hello?
Caller, are you with us?
No, it seems like you call drop.
He's there. I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Go ahead.
We're hearing you.
Okay. So, plenty people and getting the follow-up of this legalized marijuana, the kind of havoc it causing in all the country that legalized it. Now, it's bringing in a certain amount of income and revenue. But let me tell you something. That thing creating so much destruction right now. It is unbelievable. And a lot of the government that legalize it don't want to come out in the open and say that they made some wrong. And then to reverse it now would cause a lot of destruction. Without even legalizing marijuana, we know the mentality that we have in Trinidad and Tobago. Without even legalizing marijuana, we don't know the kind of problems this drug is causing in our society, especially with the youth and thing right now. Now, people would say, well, it's not for recreational use. But, oh God, is that Trinidad we're talking about? You understand? So that's that part of it. If I have any contribution to make while legalizing any drug, especially one that messes with your composure and your thinking, is a no-no for me.
Yeah, but where's the evidence that you are claiming that it is not kosher? It's not kosher. Where's the evidence of that?
Well,
no, let's have a lot of evidence to back up that.
Where?
United States, Miami's having a big problem with that right now. Detroit has a big problem with it outside of fentanyl and flocka.
Yes, but those problems can be managed, right? With the right conversations, right?
Yeah.
Because with anything new, you would have to have conversations around it, not so?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not continuous improvement, it's continual improvement.
We trying to make excuse for something that
not a matter of making excuse. I'm saying that we must.
Is a conversation we having, or just you want to talk on your own?
No. Don't start with that. Don't come around me with that. Don't come around me with that. You know where you come around me with? You just take the conversation and throw it in the toilet. Why are you doing that?
No. I am having a conversation with you, telling you something, and you just dismiss it.
I am not dismissing it. I am asking you where's the evidence, number one, and if it can be, if conversations around it cannot fix it, because it is not continuous improvement. It's continual improvement. You go up to a point, you stop, you evaluate, you put things in place, you take out, you put in, then go again and see how it goes. Isn't that how we measure stuff?
That's if it is a conversation working. If it is reaching the right places, how much conversation
well, that,
we be having about a lot of other different issues.
Well, that's plausible. That's plausible.
Right? Anyway, that's my point of view where the legalizing of the marijuana and introducing it in the world.
That wasn't the actual question. The question was if you get the opportunity.
And what is your contribution? What is your contribution in terms of that? In terms of something that works, rather than shooting down just something that somebody else bring something to the table. What do you suggest?
You relax yourself. Let's say what I need to say.
Go ahead.
Let me say what I need. You see technology that we have in Trinidad and Tobago. Right now we have an industry of training people in the oil industry, the energy sector.
Right. Okay.
People don't. That is an untapped resource that nobody don't look at it. And if we like how they have OJT.
That sounds stick up in. Why are you saying that? Why are you making a statement like that? That we don't really.
I am a perfect example of that right now. Look, I leave the oil industry 12 years ago. Never touch a spanner or anything else. I came up here with my daughter in Chicago to get her in college and all this in university, and I'm up here with her. So I said the couple of months that I would stay with her, let me just find something to do. So there was an ad came up in the newspaper, I mean in the media around the area that I'm in, and I walked in there to just get a little $22, $23 hour job to hold on for the while. From the time I sit with the people and the engineers and them and told them that I work in the oil industry for 25 years, 30 years, and I was an instrument specialist and this. They tell me, here what, you don't qualify for what you're applying for. Come to a different section. And without showing any qualification, any paper, I was hired on the spot day and then one time. And they're looking for like people every single weekend. If I could get 50 people right now who have some experience in the oil industry to come to Chicago, I could get employment for them in a one without even showing that they have a pass or anything like that. What they could say and prove that, yeah, what? And I have already, in a couple of months already, make a mark, because let me tell you something, American people don't like to work physically. You see, they'll get all the tools and everything, but you see how we have the ability to fix and repair things and make things work without any sort of big resources and things. That is so impressive over here. And when I think back and thought about, we used to be sending people by the $100 in Canada and things to get Japan to pick apple and things. And we had one of the oldest energy sector that, you see like how after school and things, and you know this, you don't have to be no qualified person to go offshore and then learn in a couple of months how to be an operator or a mechanic outside it. You understand? You just really, the most you really need offshore is basic safety and T-Bose and these kind of safety qualifications to get on the chopper to reach out it. And then within 6 months, once you have ambition and you can learn like a trade, you come out there, and that is what, if we was focusing on that, you see all over the world that industries develop, instead of we sending people on cruise ships to work like slave over there, we're supposed to have like a brain drain in Trinidad and Tobago, that you see like how them people from Spain and things come in the airport to go offshore, Repsol and you see a set of white people in the airport. That is how we, Trinidad, supposed to be 3-4 planes leaving here, going England, going Saudi Arabia, going things. But that and all was a monopoly that they used to make money for themselves. Them agencies would say, hey, here what, come by me, and I'll send you Saudi Arabia to work. Okay. They pay
I think...
All right, I understand your point.
I think what he's trying to say is that given the fact that Trinidad and Tobago was such an old, one of the first mega oil industries in the country, in the Caribbean, we should have had the largest worker force in the world that anybody needs oil and gas people. We could deploy to any profession. We should be the mecca in terms of that.
Hello, good day.
Caller, good afternoon.
Morning, Mr. X.
Morning.
Good morning,
Snipes.
Yeah.
And I guess they get a conflict of interest on the radio and the other devices picking up 91.9. 91.1. One we hear in you all, and one we hear in cricket.
Well, you're supposed
Some
to hear.
conflict of interest there.
You're supposed to hear the present program online, and on open air you would hear cricket.
Oh, on open
it's only normal now.
right now.
Yeah. So if you turn on the open air radio
on the device, then
on the device you would hear the show, and on the open air radio you would hear cricket.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's the
Sorry, I
programming
didn't
for the
explain
week.
it to
That's
you.
the programming for
And
the
that's
week.
gonna take. That's gonna take place until cricket is over.
Until
on Wednesday.
cricket is over. Until Wednesday.
Okay then. Okay then. Well, that's news.
Thank you
Okay.
so
All
much.
the best.
Right,
Yeah.
getting back to
But
the
what I was
callers.
saying, I think we need education. We educate the future, get them up to par with AI and technology, and start pivoting our society in that direction.
Well, let's
That we don't have to
clarify the
outsource
conversation a
workers.
little bit, right? He's saying that being an old. Let me put it this way: there are several skilled workers across the board, right? But most of them are retired now because they would have served their interest in Trintok and then come across Tamoko and then go across and Shell and all of them. Shell was here first, they leave and go on, they come back. Porenco is a small operation, Repsol is a small operation. So only the large players have people who are qualified in PPO and different, because you must have plant processing operations under your belt for you to know how to operate and navigate through and it is not something that you just go and pick up somebody, go down the road and pick up a maxi of people to go offshore. It don't work like that. Right? You have to be qualified and competent.
No, but X, what I think he's trying to say, because like this, you are very versed, because I don't know that he knows that you are very versed in the oil and gas.
He knows.
He knows.
Well, I think so.
Okay, right? So you would have covered everything oil and gas, more or less.
Well, yeah.
Right?
Well,
Right.
Yeah.
So what he is saying is that from your knowledge, if we have to talk about who has retired, what he is saying now is that even if, because he would have mentioned this on my show already, he was saying that even if we don't have people, let me just say you ain't getting the books education properly. Let me just say you ain't gravitating to books. He was saying that we should have an industry like a YTEP or a hype or something that only teaches oil and gas engineering. So your knowledge,
Well,
you have a teacher. Right. So what he's saying
Kenson's
now.
one.
Right. So you see, a lot of people might not know these things. So what he's saying is that we should have a large, how should I put it, a large school or something that pushes that education. So we now have any place in the world that's saying we're looking for oil and gas workers, Trinidad, they must know, hey, Trinidad have the most skilled people in that.
So I will put on my list. I have the Chagaramas tourism zone. That is one aspect that can bring money. I have the marijuana industry, and I will now put our human resource in oil and gas.
I want to add one more to that. We have the whole of
what can I call it?
We go in wind farm and solar technology.
What can I call what you just explained?
The one
about
that
the human resource.
The human resource side of it. Education and information and technology. That is just what it is.
In oil and gas.
Well, no, that was the caller on. He was saying we should have more schools training more oil and gas workers, to oil and gas and engineering workers, so that we can now export our human resource and our talent for revenue, right?
Well, most of the talent that is skilled, which is like a shaker man or an engineer for rocks, that kind of stuff, a driller, tool pusher, directional driller, all these people, they come with contractors.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right? So they more or less contract a firm, and the firm now contracts specific people.
Right, but if we have
rustabouts and
workers that
whatever.
learn that, isn't that still us pivoting our resources? Because they
Well,
just say a firm looking
those
for some people.
those companies work outside, eh? They don't just work here.
But you remember he was now saying
just how complex.
Right, but you remember he was now saying
diversification is.
Right,
when it comes to human resource.
Right, but you remember we're looking at jobs and viability, and this is why I'm saying I always tell people, like me being a streamer for how long I've been doing it, Trinidadians limit their thoughts to hear alone. I have never done that. So what he was just saying is, he now say, if we had more people like that, he could guarantee employment for every person that come Chicago right now, which now means you're not focused. X, you have been everywhere. You don't need to go nowhere again. The world has seen you. They know your skill.
We have to take a break. So let's share some information. We take a break and we come back to the callers.
Okay. All right. Dive into
From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition, the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
Some stories are written in books. Others live in the hearts and memories of a people. One of Tobago's most famous folk legends is that of Gangang Sarah, a mysterious African woman said to have flown across the Atlantic and settled in the village of Golden Lane. According to the legend, she possessed the power of flight, but after living in Tobago and eating salt, she lost her ability to return home. Her story has been passed down through generations and remains one of the island's most treasured pieces of folklore. During the Tobago Heritage Festival, visitors gather in Golden Lane to hear the tale brought to life through storytelling and cultural presentations. It is a reminder that heritage is not only found in historical records, but also in the stories people share from one generation to the next. This is Tobago's oral tradition at its finest, and in 2026, Tobago invites you to hear it for yourself.
Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story. From July 16th to August 1st, Tobago comes alive with its greatest celebration of culture, history, and tradition, the Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Talk City 91.1 FM invites you to journey with us as we discover the people, places, and stories behind this remarkable festival. Here's today's feature.
The Tobago Heritage Festival is much more than a series of cultural shows. It is Tobago's largest annual celebration of history, traditions, and community spirit. Created in the mid-1980s to preserve the island's unique customs, the festival brings...
All right, people, we're back inside, and you're locked on to the original off the record. Right?
And Snipes, you were saying we were sticking ideas. So the wind farm, we have the whole of Valencia stretch and North Coast. So we could put wind farm technology up there because there's level wind that are up there not being used.
Well, it is interesting, but to monetize it.
Well, I mean, like Manzan.
Because we have looked at that.
Manzan and them places.
You mean it will give us extra energy?
Yeah, wind farm technology.
So rather than burning gas.
How you monetizing that? That's the problem.
Well, alright. So
we bring in AI data centers and everybody complaining where we get the current from.
Knowledge, yeah.
Well, it's a possibility.
I was thinking it would help with subsidizing the subsidies that we put on the gas for the buses. We would be able to maintain that subsidy if we switch from using the the money that we pay for that gas, we can now use that energy up there to power something else and take that resource and put it back.
And look at it this way, the opposition will love it because we know them do like to pay T&Tech bill.
Well, what talk this man talking about? What talk this man talking about?
What can I need?
What can I talk this man talking about? He just loosen out that time. Just loosen out that time.
A white ball, buddy.
Yeah. Just so.
And let's say some cricket for that one.
We're going good all the time, man.
No, but we continue to ask the people because a lot of people on the outside want they love that talk, diversification.
Yeah.
We can't depend on oil and gas all the time. But ask them how.
But as you bring up diversification, oh God, no, we're not ready for that. Listen, you want me to tell you how I knew?
One of the brighter callers to call.
Yeah.
Morning, you're live.
Morning.
You have a bright caller here.
Morning.
I think we lost him.
Oh, God.
Hey, you call him, man.
He's calling back though.
Caller, good morning.
Morning, you're live.
Why is it hanging up?
Caller, good morning.
Come on, I think he having a little internet problems. Yeah, it's not us. It's him.
It's send a voice note, caller. If you don't get through to call, send a voice note.
Yeah, because the reason why we're going through this exercise here is to. I like my callers. My callers on my shows are pretty intellectual.
Yes,
some of them like little bacchanal and thing, but you see the rancor bacchanal and nothing to that. But generally, they are critical thinkers, and I love that. You know, they because if you get a chance to sit down with the powers that be, what you going to tell them?
Yeah,
you disagreeing, right? What you going to tell them?
What solution you have?
And I always
because if you have to disagree, you have to have a solution to disagree. You can't just tell me do bring that and then tell me look at oil and gas.
I was once told never disagree unless you have a solution.
Exactly.
So
okay, I'm trying to get Baby Trump here.
Baby Trump.
Hello.
Yeah, gentlemen. Good morning.
Yeah.
Sorry,
morning,
technical hiccup here.
Yeah.
Now, I know the topic is diversification, so I'm not going off the reservation here, but I see folks went into other stuff, which has some valid points, about legalization of, recreational marijuana and all that kind of stuff. But, sorry.
Do you have any of the longer?
Yeah, I can get you some of those.
Okay, you have like those.
I get you those, no problem. I do apologize. Sorry about that.
You're something pretty take a man something for yourself. You're over 18.
What is that?
I say over 18, you take a man for yourself. But go ahead now.
No. Something for the caboose, yeah. Anyway, listen. Hey, what I want to say though is that look, we kind of have put in the horse before the cart. I'm not going off the reservation here. Bear with me, okay? Good ideas die. You know that. You all are intelligent men. You know that good ideas die depending on who you share it with and who you give it to, okay? So when you say, speaking about ideas for diversification, I hope you also include the opposition, regardless of wherever you are in government, whether UNC in opposition or UNC in power. Let me tell you why, okay? You look around in Trinidad and you can find many examples where good ideas, like I hear there were certain institutions built or schools or whatever, and then because it was a PNM idea, because it was a UNC idea, it died.
What is your idea? What is your idea?
Well, coming to my idea, right. Yeah. I land in the plane. Right. Yeah, I land in the plane. Yeah, I'm surprised if I meet to land in the plane. But anyway, so what I'm saying is that when you present your idea, make sure you also have the opposition there too. The reason for that, you have it on record, right? That this is a good idea. I'm pitching here. And you will make sure there will be follow-up. Because I tell you something, the best ideas.
What is your idea?
What do you mean, what is my idea?
What is your contribution to this segment?
But my contribution to this segment, as far as diversification is concerned, is that you have to first change that culture that we have in Trinidad, built in our DNA, that the best ideas only comes from when you're in government or it comes from the PNM or the UNC. This is what I'm saying, because many good ideas, I know many a brother and sister who come back home and want to make a valid contribution, and because who in power and because of how they look or how they sound or whatever the case may be, They get passed by a full bus. And you know that. You know that. You speak about Rennie Cummins, for example. Is Rennie Cummins his name?
Yes.
Right? You have many, many patriots, and I call them patriots, right, who have good ideas as far as diversification is concerned. I keep it on the topic, right? And come in and present that. And unfortunately, it die in the wilderness, or somebody else they pass it on to take it up, whether it is the 1%ers or whatever you call them, okay, or somebody who embedded in the party. Am I lying?
Thank you.
No, you're
correct.
correct.
Thank you for saying
right.
that.
So you have to change the culture first, right, and make sure that we have that embedded in our DNA and get rid of that nonsense,
and
right?
And that culture
So
doesn't.
we take into note there has to be a mental preparedness when it comes to both sides.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, but we're not making no money off of that.
Yeah, thank you.
That's kidding, that's kidding, buddy. That's kidding, buddy.
I got you trying to.
That's kidding, that's kidding.
Okay. That's okay. All right, thanks, guys.
Bye. Now, here is the funny thing. He said the opposition and the government has to be on the same page, right? But it doesn't stop there alone. That now extends to the people. Because, again, you have one government saying, listen, time for we to pivot and move the country forward into new ideas. And you have a next government on the podium saying, we putting all the back in jumpers to cut grass.
Well,
you see what I mean?
I don't think that either side understands that the population has changed drastically. Some for the better and some for the worse.
You think we have a more educated population?
No.
Within the last 10 years, you think we have a much more more?
We have a faster population.
Mikey told me something the other day, and it was real off the cuff. He said there's no such thing as a youth vote, and I was like, I went to and I studied it.
Yeah, you're cultivated to vote, my friend.
There's no youth vote. There's no young vote.
But I have a clip where...
Right, it's only the same people...
who vote all the time.
Who doing the same things over and over.
Yes.
And the young people ain't really business too much.
No, but look, I have a clip that I have on my phone.
Wait till I it, man.
Where they interview young people and a bunch of young people saying they're not voting.
He's right. I think he's right to a
certain percentage.
Yeah. Because we now have the 70s children, most of them are almost on their way out or they collecting
on
pension.
the top of the hill.
Yeah, they are the top.
And they're going down.
They are the top of the hill, 70. Kind of thing, you know, which is not a bad thing. But they would have cultured the generation just after them. And then we have a Gen Z.
The Gen Z, they don't care about us.
They are the doctors, the lawyers, the more brighter youths coming from the Gen Zs, right? Because we having more people coming to the universities, more people going to higher education, whatever.
We have don't get fooled, eh? Not all of them coming out as bright as you think, eh?
No, well, generally, it's a small portion.
Millennials are still holding majority of that educated force. Millennials.
Yeah, because they have a corrupt heritage and culture kind of shock.
Yeah.
It's corrupted.
From generation
do they
next to
even study
millennials.
politics per se? When I say study politics, I mean the current affairs or what's going on in the country.
Actually,
I'm having
an issue where in let me say normal time.
Right.
We always call it casual time, lyman time.
Yeah.
It's difficult for me to have a conversation with the people around me. Because the things that I want to speak about,
hold on,
they do have a clue.
And this is why.
For example,
go ahead.
For example, a young man in here, and I'm not going to say who it is. There was a couple ministers in the back, and he came back to ask me, "Who are those ministers?"
Yeah, they don't know.
I was in shock.
They don't know. That is why what you know.
And I wasn't only in shock, it worried me.
So coming back to what I was told, right? I remember this
Mikey's
very
right.
vividly. very vividly for the last 4 years or something. So he told me that, right? He whispered to me, he said, don't study the youths, there's no youth vote.
No
youth vote. It, like the youths would get up out of their bed and go and vote for issues or something they hear.
It's not a significant amount of them that can come together. That used to be the university back then.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
But the students there now, they
don't care. And let me tell you
they're
how
not together.
There's a certain minister.
They don't make any significant call for anything.
They don't get in. They don't be passionate about it.
In any particular way. When last
Mm-hmm.
we had a guild come out and
or you
rally
voice
the people to say, hey, we having a problem with technology. We think that
you don't hear nothing from you.
We think that if you're walking through Port of Spain, you should have Wi-Fi.
They're more interested in partying and liming. That is why the other day there was a specific minister who told me the other day, he said, listen, he said, I've seen your content and I've seen your maturity. And this was me based on me posting a meme. And you know what he said to me? He said, I want you to understand this. He said, the critical voters, the people who make changes in this society, don't care about your meme. They care about facts. He said, so keep your platform focused on facts. My children...
Hold on. I'm telling you, up to now, I just can't dissect exactly what that means per se. And when he told me that, I started to look wrong now at the youths.
That is what he means.
And I trying to figure out, well,
youths don't care about that.
Do they really care about anything going on here at all?
No, they don't.
You don't hear you saying nothing.
They don't. Listen, when I said it last
nothing.
week,
How is that? And it have workers and students in there who studying political science and all these different things. They don't care about them things.
Snipes, let me be honest. Yes, I said something.
With 2 minutes to wrap up.
Right. I said something last week.
Did you have your whipping segment where you...
No. We could go down Snipes. I said something last week that caused somebody to chip off. And you just said it there. And tell me if I'm lying. Our society gravitates to degenerative behavior more than positive.
Well, yeah, it was
scary though.
And that's the truth.
It's scary. I do it.
Right, and that's why I'm telling you, they don't care. They don't care.
So
no, but it's scary, you know. The more information you have, and the greater the understanding of how we are developing as a nation and the direction that we're going. I don't know if the young people would be able to get up and function.
No.
If they understand just how serious it is. It's like living in a place and you know at some point the well will dry up.
Listen.
And you don't have a clue how you're going to pull water into this valley.
Are you in here at least 3 youths out of UE talking about AI?
Yeah.
How?
No, it have
at least 3 youths coming out to say,
but
at least 3 outstanding youths come out, they come together and they want to talk about AI and AI centers and whatever we can do for
that discussion was being had on TikTok the other day.
How come it don't have no youths talking about it? It have
on a media level.
It have our age group talking about it. Right, because we have the guy who...
We need to call the minister in.
Because like I said, millennials are the last of these right-thinking persons.
Yeah, what?
I think he has a program where he's trying to where he's trying to educate and share the information about how the technologies...
We need okay, with this prompts us at some time during the week. We will call somebody or call some youths or call UE or whatever and let them offer, because it now dawned on me, right?
Yeah.
We need to have the youths in this discussion, in these discussions, because it affects them more than it affects us.
We wouldn't be here. And you want me to tell you something that my sons told me? I thank God for people like Snipes and Stephan, because I raised my sons with it. So they are aware of everything. And you know what my sons said to me? They said, Daddy, we are convinced that Gen Z is going to destroy the world.
Wow.
They said that. They said it ends with us.
Guys,
something to think about.
Wrap up.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of the program.
I would have liked to hear Sharon's take on it.
Yeah, definitely.
She gone.
Yeah, but seriously, we really need to expand this discussion at some time during the week. And I want to be able to get some youths either on WhatsApp or in the studio to talk these things so that they get involved in the narrative. Because we can't be guiding the narrative all the time. That's what's going on right now. We just guiding the narrative all the time, and them just playing the game and going the little function and going the little and then building business with what the hell going on in the country.
We are Fet Nation. I said that already, and that is all they know, and that is all.
Well, even the dollars of minds have a genius of expressing the obvious. Stop walking around the tongue with the blinkers on as a just mirror into a post. Have a good day, TNT.
Make a better version of yourself, Trinidad and Tobago. We gone.